Andrew Wakefield on his new film Protocol 7. Now, for those of you that don't know, Andrew Wakefield is like one of the leading voices in the anti-vaxxer communities, and we'll go a little bit into that in a second. But basically, he's making an anti-vax drama about the vaccine industry and the big evil businessmen, and just in a true example of anti-vaxxers lacking in any kind of self-awareness and irony. In this film, in just the trailer, he has a part about the vaccine creators manipulating the clinical data, for money and for more people to take their vaccines. And this is exactly what Andrew Wakefield did, okay? This man quite literally lost his medical license in the UK. He lost the right to practice medicine in the UK because in a court hearing, he produced a study that he had not disclosed that he was paid hundreds of thousands of pounds to make. Let me just say that again, okay? This man was as a part of a court hearing, okay, because there was a lawsuit going on where someone was claiming that their child was injured by vaccines. Andrew Wakefield was on their side defending them. Okay, Andrew Wakefield produced a study that claimed that vaccines cause autism and proposing a link there. That study is now completely disregarded as medically incorrect. That study was also made because Andrew Wakefield was bribed hundreds of thousands of pounds that he did not declare to court, okay? Making that study completely biased, making his stance completely biased, and making his medical license so questionable that it was revoked. And this is the man that the anti-vax community is like, this is the guy telling the truth. This is the guy leading us on. I mean, if that doesn't show you how completely naive and under-researched anti-vaxxers are, that they would trust a man that was bribed to come to the conclusion that he did, to lead them in scientific research and evidence, and then accuse everyone else of doing that when he was literally proven that he did that. I've done a whole video on this going into this called Vaccines Are Safe, okay? If you want to watch that, I go into him and someone else. It baffles me that people still trust this man and believe that he wants to do the right thing when he falsified a research study because he was bribed. And now he's making a movie about the bad guys falsifying data. You can't make this shit up. You really cannot. Special thank you to my YouTube members and patrons for supporting the channel and supporting my content. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of r/vaxxhappened. It has been a little while since I returned to this, and would you believe it, anti-vaxxers are still around, and a lot of them are still talking about COVID. We were supposed to die from the COVID vaccine years ago. That hasn't happened. I'm waiting on that. I had people in my own videos telling me that I was gonna be dead by 2021. I'm still alive. Quickly before we begin, I just wanted to mention that I stream over at Twitch every Thursday at 7 p.m, so go check that out. It's a good time. We're playing Baldur's Gate, but we're almost finished with Baldur's Gate, so go check it out. Honestly, it's really fun, so I look forward to seeing you there. If not, I have a YouTube channel where you can catch the streams after the fact. They're pretty good. Let's get into the subreddit, shall we? Similar experience. In late 2022, I had to have small elective surgery. I didn't tell them I was pure blood. The doc told me not to worry if I got an abnormal electrocardiogram because everyone has it. Mine was totally normal without a single glitch. The doc was surprised. I told her I didn't get the vax and her whole face changed. My heart is high functioning because 0 mRNA in my system. God, okay, look, we already touched upon the fact that, anti-vaxxers are under-researched, but we've got to add to that they don't know how to read facial expressions, because pretending for a second that this is real. First of all, 0 mRNA in your system is just a lie. You're born with it. You have mRNA in your system since you begin developing in the womb. But second of all, pretending this is real. If your doctor's face changed because you said you were unvaccinated, it's not because they're amazed at the fact you're unvaccinated. It's because they're like, oh my God, this person really cares so little about their health that they went into elective surgery and they are not vaccinated. Like, all manner of systems could happen to you in a time when you are most vulnerable and you have elected to be the least protected you can. They're laughing at you for that. They're laughing at you. There is no such thing as a heart attack. There is only such thing as your heart being attacked. What is your heart being attacked by? Vaccines, drugs, toxic chemicals, and ultra-processed foods and drinks. Everything is cause and effect. I mean, yes, there are causes for heart attacks, but like, being like, it's not a heart attack, it's your heart being attacked. Like, well, yeah, in most cases, yeah, that is true, but it's called a heart attack because your heart is being attacked. But also, no. And like, what about people that are genetically predisposed to have heart attacks, okay? It can run in the family. It can be a thing you inherit and are more likely to have happen to you because it runs in the family. No matter how healthy a person you are, if it runs in the family, it can just happen. This is a psyop to make you gay. Muscle mummy fetish is literally homosexuality. First it was the vax, then they got TikTok brain kids to goon over these women. If you have ever found yourself attracted to this, you desperately need to raise your test levels. Fellas, is it gay to be attracted to women? Oh my God. The muscle mommy fetish is literally homosexual, he says. Mummy being in the term, okay? You know, women being a part of the exact title of that statement. Being attracted to women is now homosexuality. You heard it here first from Reese the Bra. But also, first it was the vax. He's out here saying that muscular women are making you gay, and then just drops in vaccines with no elaboration. Like, what? What was the vax? First it was the vax. What was? Are vaccines making people gay? What? Huh? Next we have a nice little video from RFK Jr. Now, this is a video where he's talking about, you know, transgender kids are happening because of toxins in the air and vaccines, and he's going on this weird conspiracy spiel about vaccines and toxins and things, and that's causing transgenderism and blah, blah, blah. And like, I'm gonna play the video, but I'm not gonna listen to a single word he says because it's RFK Jr. and like literally all he has to say is conspiracy nonsense, and none of it makes any sense. None of it is researched. And for some reason, people lap this shit. But look, we're gonna play.
A lot of the problems we see.
And basically, what I wanted to say while we watch this, okay, I'm just ignoring everything he's saying in the background.
Exposures, including
Less than a year ago, this man was claiming that he was ultra healthy and he was healthier than all these health experts. And look at him, he can struggle to do 10 push-ups and all of this stuff a year ago. Now, less than a year later, we are watching him just try and sit in front of a camera and talk for less than a minute.
and 10% of the frogs.
And the whole time, he just looks like he's really battling and is so close to losing the battle of the urge for his body to just return to the primordial soup that he came from. Like, are we really taking health and medical advice from the steroid jacked up man who can barely sit in front of a camera and talk, who can barely do 10 push-ups, okay? Is this the guy that we are trusting to talk to us about chemicals and toxins that we're putting in our bodies and vaccines and it's affecting children when he looks and sounds like he's melting? Like, really? I'll just leave you with that. He's a conspiracy whack job, but like, he does not look or sound healthy for someone who is an active voice in medical health. When your car stops halfway soon because the chip inside detected that you have used your monthly allowance of gasoline, remember that it started with a mask and a shot, and you complied. Coming to us soon. There's multiple layers to this one, okay? First of all, what do masks and shots have to do with fuel in your car? Nothing is the answer. They are completely unrelated things. The second point to make is that this would be an economical nightmare, okay? This wouldn't happen. If they were going to impose like fuel regulations and limits to households, it would be based on your necessary needed allowance, which would depend on how far you have to commute and your access to public transport. And if you could access public transport, your allowance of gasoline would be less because you could supplement it with public transport, but it wouldn't be in a way that just strands you in the middle of the road, because that would be dangerous for you and every other person on the road. But also, people wouldn't be able to work because their cars would shut down and the economy would collapse. That wouldn't happen. You would be given an allowance that would allow you to get to and from work. If anything, it would be time-based rather than fuel-based, because it would be timed from going to work and getting home from work, or you would be taking public transport. You wouldn't be in a car that just shuts off halfway home. That makes no sense. But regardless of that, this isn't going to happen anyway. It's just not. It's not going to happen ever. And vaccines make no difference in that regard. Now, this is a great one, because this is Larry Cook, who, you know, cooked in the brain, but he's another big anti-vax voice. And he just keeps asking Grok questions and being unhappy with the answer. And before I even begin, look, if you have to ask Grok, an AI made by Elon Musk, medical questions, and even that is giving you answers you don't agree with when it comes to vaccines, if even Grok, Elon's AI, is supporting vaccines and suggesting that there is no medical scientific studies that show that vaccines are harmful, if even that AI is telling you you're wrong, maybe it's time to assess that you are wrong. So anyway, Elon, we need to talk. Why do vaccines cause autism? Vaccines do not cause autism. This myth has been debunked by numerous scientific studies and reviews, which have found no link between vaccines and the development of autism. The initial study that suggested a link between the measles, mumps, and rubella MMR vaccine and autism has been discredited and retracted due to serious procedural errors and ethical concerns. Correct! Thank you, Grok. That's one of 3, by the way, that we've got today. Larry Cook also then saying, if the web of information available to all wasn't censored, would Grok produce a different answer? Why are unvaccinated children healthier than vaccinated children? There is no credible scientific evidence to support that claim, the claim that unvaccinated children are healthier than vaccinated children. In fact, numerous studies have shown that vaccines are safe and effective in preventing serious diseases and saving lives. Why does Community Notes promote vaccines? Community Notes promotes vaccines because they are essential for preventing serious diseases and protecting public health. Vaccines have been proven to be effective in preventing the spread of many infectious diseases and have saved millions of lives worldwide. By promoting vaccines, Community Notes aims to provide accurate and reliable information about their safety and effectiveness, and to encourage people to make informed decisions about their health. Once again, I just have to say, if you ask even Elon Musk's AI and it says vaccines don't cause autism, unvaccinated children are not healthier than vaccinated, and in fact maybe more unhealthy, and Community Notes promotes vaccines because they help and are essential, if even that AI is saying that, alongside all of scientific evidence that all of it backs up all of those claims, then maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't be taking issue with that AI, and you shouldn't be taking issue with the fact that all scientific evidence supports vaccines because they work. Maybe, just maybe, you should be adjusting your view and learning, right? Maybe that should be enough for you to realize, maybe I'm wrong. Because Larry Cook, you are wrong. And that is shown by the fact that even Elon Musk's AI is telling you you are wrong. It is such an indisputably proven fact over and over and over again that vaccines work, are effective, and are safe, that even Elon Musk's AI supports them. So adapt your views when being met with actual evidence, because that is the scientific process. That is what science is. It is being met with evidence that changes your views and adapting your views accordingly. However, Larry Cook, as we have said, pretty cooked in the brain. I don't know if he's even capable of having a few more synapses fire and connect. I'm not sure that's a thing he would ever be able to do. I don't know if this man is even capable of learning. Vaccines are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. This one, okay, look, we know that this is just stupid, okay? And vaccines cause none of these things. But some of these are baffling to me. Like, genuinely. I mean, facial asymmetry, ear infections, eating disorders. What does eating disorders have to do with vaccine? What? I'm honestly baffled here. Genuinely, well and truly baffled by this one. I have a friend that this happened to as well. Our naturopath has confirmed my husband had spike protein in his blood from the vaccinated employees he works with. Shedding is a thing. Detox. Well, if the naturopath said it, well then it must be true, because I'm sure naturopaths really have the scientific equipment and know-how to test someone's blood for spike proteins. Definitely. That's a trusted, reliable source. Oh god, we are so much closer to the end of humanity than I ever could have imagined. Wow. But seriously, spike proteins can't shed. Learn what spike proteins even fucking are. Spike proteins are not viruses. They don't cause or spread viruses. They're a part of a virus. They're literally a protein. If you take a spike protein off of a virus, it's just that. It's a protein. There is no virus. Yes, spike proteins are a part of coronavirus, but they're utilized in vaccines because it makes your body think that it's coronavirus so that you can build an immunity to it. Spike proteins on their own cannot replicate, they cannot shed, and they cannot spread because they aren't viruses. And it's so easy to find information about what spike proteins are. It takes 5 minutes of reading to learn, and they refuse. They just refuse to learn because their naturopath said that her husband had spike proteins and therefore it must be so. I'm not even gonna read all of this one, but this is a person talking about chemotherapy being bad, and chemotherapy is the thing causing cancer, and chemotherapy doesn't help cancer, and chemotherapy kills healthy people, let alone people with cancer. And my response to that is chemotherapy helps. It is the best treatment we currently have for cancer that has progressed past a point, okay? There are other treatments, you know, surgically removing tumors, radiotherapy, various other things, but chemotherapy does help. My mum has just finished chemotherapy. She had breast cancer. She is in her 60s, okay? She had chemotherapy and she is fine now. She's just awaiting some extra surgery at the end. That's it. She's fine. So if chemotherapy here, a healthy person on chemo is likely to die, let alone someone on cancer, my mum is a 60-year-old woman, okay? She had cancer and had chemo and she is fine. By all accounts of this person, she should be dead, but she's not. Cancer treatments save lives. We should continue studying them and advancing them. And anybody that says that cancer treatments are worse for you than cancer or cause cancer are legitimately harmful and dangerous people, okay? Someone with a view like this, that is pushing a view like this, that has nearly 250,000 views on a point like this, is legitimately dangerous and harmful. Someone like this pushing these views to people that believe them is actually causing people to die from cancer. Someone like this is causing people to elect to not have life-saving treatments, and those people will die as a result. This person is more dangerous than chemotherapy. I will say it. This person is more dangerous than chemotherapy. And anybody with viewpoints like this person are more dangerous than chemotherapy. And the final post, we're going to end on a funky little light note where someone said, the location where the two cross over is the exact location where the Pfizer vaccine was developed. In addition, the midpoint between those two eclipses falls on the exact day that another less known eclipse occurred in South America. This also happened to be the exact day that the first human trials of the Pfizer vaccine began. The odds of this are astronomical. Something related to the shot is tied into this eclipse somehow. I might have to ask for a source on that one, partner. And of course, the source they drop is a YouTube video, because nothing says this is a legitimate real fact than the only source I can supply is a YouTube video, because no other actual studies or sources on the subject exist. But really, this is linked to Eclipses? That's the stage we've gotten to now, where they think that COVID vaccines are linked to eclipses. It is not surprising that even if this was true, that any development of vaccines could fall on a day or near a location of an eclipse, because eclipses happen all over the planet all the fucking time, okay? It's rare that an eclipse happens in the same place. Generally, it's between like 5 to 10 years that an eclipse will return to the same place, and in some places on the planet, it's like 100 years that it will return. But eclipses are happening all over the planet regularly. We have like multiple every year. Like, this isn't a rare occurrence, and we know exactly when they're going to occur. But being like, oh man, someone made something on the same day as an eclipse happened somewhere in the world? Crazy. It's a conspiracy. Vaccines are tied to eclipses. What? What? And I can't think of a better place to end it than there. I hope you have enjoyed, everybody. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below. Or equally, you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. A huge, massive special thank you to all of the YouTube members and patrons that do support me. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. I'm going through a bit of a rocky phase with work right now. The company I work for has kind of gone under and can't afford to pay us. So like, all of the support genuinely helps so much, especially right now while I'm furiously looking for other work just to support like me and Leo to actually live. So yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.